Okay, here we go. First cast of the day with the 1300 max bracket of open season. Eldeniro versus Fontanita Animal. It's Arabia, best of three. And after Arabia, we'll be moving on to the players' respective home maps. But we have a full-on cavalry match up here. We have Hans for Eldeniro. He really likes his cavalry's play. And Fontanita Animal with the Persians. So, interesting matchup. I don't see. I mean, the Persians have access to camels, so they could counter Hunt's cavalry play nicely, but I'm not too sure how Persians will hold up against cav archers in the long run, lacking bracer for the late game. So, Fontanita Animal will definitely have to do some work to prevent Eldeniro from getting to pull on cavalry archers every time. So I'm expecting maybe a scouts into cavalry's play or something like that from Eldeniro. His map is extremely open. That shouldn't be a hinder for the Huns, because Huns will usually be on the aggressive side anyway. So yeah, side gold, side stones, back gold here. Could actually use gold to kind of wall in the woodland here if needed. 3 on wood, by the way, indicative of a scout's opening thus far. As you could say about Fontanita Animal as well, with heavy focus on food, as is usually customary for the scouts play. It seems to be a little bit unlucky with the sheep spawn here. We'll have to go all the way over here to find the last few 2 sheep, and there is a chance that Eldeniro might find them first, actually. He takes an engagement here against an unloomed villager. He is going to flee back towards the TC, and Eldeniro, yeah, saves the scout there. So yeah, looks like scouts play for both. We have more idle TC time for Fontanita Animal here, though. It's roughly 1 villager difference overall. Yeah, Eldeniro's gone for the early loom. That's why the villager count is deceivingly similar here. But in fact, Eldeniro is 1 villager ahead here with this. So if they are going up at the same, let's assume 20 population scouts here, Eldeniro is actually going to have a 24-second lead due to less idle time overall. Still, neither of them have found these sheep. Eldeniro is looking for that weak woman again, maybe, to try and snipe her, but she's under a TC now. Let's see for... Yep, Fontanita Animal finds the last few sheep. Is going to snag those last 2. Oh, and walling in the scout at the expense of a villager, but also limiting Eldeniro's scouting intel significantly now. Fontanita Animal successfully traps Eldeniro's scout at the expense of having to listen to that constant attack sound in his base until his scout has been dealt with. But bonus points for Fontanita Animal for the trap here, for sure. Well played. 5 on berries, some idle TC, no, idle worker time under the TC, and that trap might have cost some idle time as well, because we're now at 37 seconds idle TC time for Fontanita Animal. Eldeniro just clicked up. Fontanita will be following suit with 19 pop here, but that is effectively 20 pop, because Fontanita Animal has lost 1 villager as well to Eldeniro, failing to fight off the scout here. So they're going to match their uptimes, but Eldeniro with 2 villagers more is going to go into the next stage with a much more healthy economy here. He's dropping the stable, a bit worried here about the enemy scout engaging against the villager, but the barracks will for sure go up here for Eldeniro. Nice small local walls here for the Huns. I think Eldeniro means the wall all the way to... Wait, what's his scouting? He could wall to this woodland and then it's actually covered, but his scouting isn't complete on this side, obviously, because his scout is trapped. He's just chilling out here, enjoying life. Meanwhile, Fontanita Animal is gathering some important intel here. He found a sheep as well somewhere here to extend the scouting and snag some stuff. Stables going up for both players, we can assume. It's up for Eldeniro, and he is with a... He's had some idle TC time since last time I checked, so now it's actually just one villager, barely one villager ahead here. Hey, did the scout escape? I killed it, probably. Yeah, no escape for that guy. Or is it? Oh, he escaped! He escaped! But he's gonna run into TC fire, I think. Inside of the very local but efficient walls of Fontanita Animal here. One scout runs in, but he runs dangerously close to TC. Oh, look at that timing of the movement of the scout there. Just runs in, takes some TC shots, of course. But also manages to lose a minimum of hit points here running through. Wall still not complete. Nice quick gate from Fontanita Animal. And Eldeniro doesn't risk running in again here with the last scout. He's going to have to adapt here. He's making some peculiar walls here, I have to say. I guess the idea is less villager walking time to get them back to work, but why not just wall all the way to the cliff here or something? Again, that lacking of scouting is showing for Eldeniro here. But having one side covered is always good in any case. Gold, side gold here, kind of. I wouldn't say safe, but if you place the mining camp around here, then the gold is tougher to take. Oh, he's walling to... Uh-oh. There's a potential hole at the end of the map as well. There's some huge walling investment here, and here comes Fontanita Animal Scouts to engage. We'll be running into spears here. Nice spearman placement here for Eldeniro. Don't engage 3 scouts with bond scouts. That's a bad idea. Bad, bad, bad. So no way they're gonna hit the woodland here. Fontanita Animal is with roughly the same farming eco as the Huns player, I think. Yeah, 9 farms to 11. Eldeniro earlier, Feudal Age, better economy. Well, not earlier maybe, but better economy overall, I'd still say. Seven scouts total for Fontanita Animal here. That could pose issues if he's able to focus down the spearman here. And most of Eldeniro's eco is walled in though. What he also could do is to jabate that one spearman away and use the rest of the scouts to engage at points that are still open. Woodlands quick wall in as well. Nice quick wall attention there from Eldeniro. 5 scouts now to 3 here. That should be an easy win for the Persians. And Fontanita Animal currently with the score lead here. Now to gold for Eldeniro. Knowing Eldeniro, he will be following this up with Cav Archers, but we'll see how it plays out in the end. 2 Spearmen and 3 Scouts against 5 Scouts here. The overall hit points difference is... well, the hit point Scouts is roughly the same here, but the Spears are counter units, so if they are allowed to get close, they should still be able to snipe the Spears here. finally get a villager kill. Only one villager has died so far in the game. Eldeniro with a significant less idle TC time behind this. So Fontanita animal is really falling behind the villagers here due to idle Persian TC. That is in Fontanita animal's defense, the Persian TC works faster. So if you don't have the food source, oh, nice breakthrough, the food source to support that 10% faster working TC, you'll be looking at some idle TC time, so that could be part of the explanation here. Also, the scouts micro obviously taking attention of other tasks there. Tasks. And now in the middle of all this, Eldeniro gets some idle time as well. Now sees some more farms around the mill, preparing for that Castle Age transition. I mean, there's not going to be that much of a difference going up to the next age here. One of the difference being Eldeniro doesn't have double attack, but he has horse collar, so his farms will be better, but his wood income will be worse because of not having double attacks. For Fontanita animal, it's the other way around. We have 19 farms here with no horse collar, so unfortunately they will need to be reseeded much sooner than Eldeniro's farms. Both players aiming for the Castle Age without wheelbarrow, I'd say, but Fontanita animal, again, with 3 minutes more idle TC time, is behind in builders and hence behind in economy here. Now he's going to task the scouts to collect some intel across the rest of the map here. Maybe try and snag some relics later on, but overall just to get a grasp of where the neutral resources are. Neutral gold quite close to the base here, that's good news for Fontanita animal actually, who has a deceivingly higher score here, but that is a little bit because of the scouting as well, as you can see, and possibly army. No, I guess it has to be mainly scouting, this score difference. KD as well, maybe 2 more kills. There is a significant difference going up to the Castle Age though. There are yeah, 1 minute difference, and Eldeniro again with a stronger economy to back the transition. 4 ranges! Oh, this is all in 1 TC cav archers if I've ever seen any. Hound's cavalry archers are cheaper, so they are easier to mass. And with 4 ranges, Eldeniro will definitely be pumping out the first 2 rather quickly here. He is still only dispatching, but there goes Bodkin Arrow once he's reaching the Castle Age. He's queuing cavalry archers out of 3 of the ranges here. Yeah, they're going to be used eventually. So it's definitely going to be staying 1 TC here for a while, Eldeniro. I see, even affords another... Okay, never mind. Oh, that TC investment has to be delaying the cav archers investment though. I mean... Alright, I can appreciate the economy expansion after being earlier to the Castle Age, but this seems like something that will affect production quite a lot here. We have how many cav archers? 4, 5, 6. But moving out here, second TC. I can't help but feel that the second TC at this stage is a mistake for Eldeniro, especially after having placed 4 ranges. Because even though the Hunt's cav archers are cheaper, you still need wood and gold to support them. You need wood to support farms as well, and you need... well, there's enough farms here to support multiple TCs, so that's fine, wood count-wise. But you're dropping 4 army production buildings here without being able to use them consistently. Let's see, 2, 3 ranges, maximum 3 ranges producing is fine. 3 ranges is fine, I guess. But usually that's more compatible with 1 TC play. Doesn't change the fact though that Eldeniro is taking a military lead here and has the cav archers raiding this very compact base of Fontanita animal. I think he should be able to reach the other wood knight with cav archers as well. And Fontanita is going for the knights play here, I guess. Knights, Knight Scorp, Knight Skirm. Best way to handle cav archer pushes. They're almost breaking through here even. Little did Eldeniro know that there were 4 plus 2 knights waiting behind there, so he has to back out. So, no protection whatsoever of cavalry archers right now. So, just preparing the buildings for it. Well, I can appreciate that Eldeniro is putting excess wood to good use. Of course, more production buildings are going to come in handy as the game moves on. Fontanita Animal is kind of with the same issue here. Did place 3 stables to double up on knights production, I can only assume, but now all 3 stables have been going idle here for a little bit, so both players placing excessive amounts of production buildings, and especially for Fontanita Animal, that third stable investment could have gone into 3 more farms instead, and he would have a much more healthier food economy to support the knights. But let's see here. Decent chunk of cav archers here after all. Bear in mind that Eldeniro with the 2 TCs now doesn't, and the 4 ranges, it could have dropped either of these buildings and afforded the university for an earlier ballistics instead, and would stand a much better chance against the knights play that he might be expecting from the Persians, cavalry being some of the strong suits, and Eldenir with knights as well, actually, so making use of the resources here. But Fontanita Animal has knights that has a bonus damage against archers as well. I believe that Persian's bonus even applies to cavalry archers. So if the knights are allowed to get in close here, they could cause trouble for the Huns players, cav archers here. DC on the gold and woodline here for Fontanita Animal. Scores very similar, so these players don't seem that uneven in match thus far. They've been chasing each other's score so far throughout the game. Pike defense for Eldeniro. I love that call. He's reading the game well here. Probably shouldn't be a surprise to see the Persians going for knights, but after his first almost breakthrough through the palisade gate here for Eldeniro, we went into pike defense as well to hold off the trickle of knights from Fontanita Animal. Just casually passing under TC fire here, not worrying too much. And Fontanita, my friend, you need to divide your villagers between the 2 TCs now that you have 2 of them. Cav archers to try and snipe camels, going mainly putting villager trades here by the looks of it. But yeah, Fontanita Animal is outnumbered here. He has a counterattack going on, so we'll pay some attention to that as well. Some scouts and knights over here, but the pikes will probably chase and hold that off. Eldeniro would benefit from a defensive monastery as well now, I think, just to sway the fights with some potential conversions. But knights, cav archers, double gold combination here, very strong against almost any civilization, I'd say. The cav archers could snipe monks as well, for example, if monks try to sway the small numbers of knights to the dark side here, and the knights, of course, would deal with any potential skirms or siege, so it's a very threatening, good army composition by Eldeniro, I'd say. However, gold dependent, but gold isn't Eldeniro's issue here. He's floating lots of gold, he's struggling more for wood. Can't help but think that he'd need a town center on a wood line as well now. Look at this, triple TCs now. He's producing out of 2 of them. Meanwhile, Fontanita Animal shows the power of Persian knights here and will clean up this small trickle of cav archers inside his base, but we can tell here that Eldeniro definitely has had some value from his raids here with 16 to 1 in the Eco KD, in holding off the attacks as well with pike defense. Such boomers, man. 3 TCs for both players. Fontanita Animal, however, later to the multiple TC approach, and hence roughly 20-30 villagers behind here. Drops a defensive siege workshop. I think he's thinking about some scorpions to hold off cav archers here, maybe. And there's a nasty hill in the middle of both players here. That's one that they need to take control over for the later game. Nice scouting for Fontanita Animal. He knows basically the whole base here. The whole map, I mean. Another sneaky entry here. Woodline abandoned here from Fontanita Animal. In Fontanita Animal's defense, his woodlines are absolutely horrible here. Eldeniro, not great either, but some a little bit chunkier ones around his base, I think. But these are just, yeah, not the best Arabia map gen for the yellow player here. He's also not being active enough with his army here, I'd say. I mean, there's pike defense going on here, of course, but it's just allowing to Eldeniro to mind his own business here, extend the economy, potentially go Imperial Age soon if Eldeniro just drops a market now and well, actually, it needs two buildings as well. But once the castle is up, Eldeniro can go in anytime if the food eco allows. And this made a switch into full-on knights here now, surprising against the Persians that have access to camels, actually. We want to make use of the faster working Hunt stables here, that's for sure. Eldeniro now with 29 military, so he's counting on outnumbering, outmassing, and potentially out upgrading the Persian knights as well. He's 40 seconds left for iron casting here to give the +2 attack for the knights. Fontanita animal being a little bit passive here has of course been trying to engage, but is being chased down by larger numbers of units here. Will not be able to engage easily from this side now with the castle partly on the hill here and securing that third gold for Eldeniro. And his macro seems on point here, but the eco balance could be better, I guess, for both players. They're both floating a lot of gold here. So, poor ranges for Eldeniro, just for those early quick cavalries. They did get some good raids in, but now the ranges have been abandoned for quite a while here in favor of an earlier Imperial Age over the opponent, and soon to come Cavalier switch. That's going to render the Scorpions more or less useless here, as the remaining 4 Cavalry Archers, they don't even have ballistics, will go raid where they are able to here. Look at this massing of units. Stable, 20% faster working stables for Huns here. 6 stables, no less. Eldeniro, he actually might struggle affording Cavalier and defense in the Imperial Age here, but he is really outmassing the Persians here. Still only... What happened to the third stable of Fontanita animal here? Anyway, 3 stables against 6 stables or so from the Huns here, and more cavalry archers entering in the field as well. This is going to be dominance of Eldeniro in the end, I think, too. Because of sheer numbers in Fontanita Animal's defense, he's on the way to Imperial Age and playing this very patiently and not taking any fights before he has the units. These are kind of weakened though, but with Scorps behind there, the pikes could be weakened a bit before engaging with the units here. But Cavalier on the way for Eldeniro here. Fontanita Animal still 20 seconds off the next age here. I think it would be about time for Eldeniro to do some trebs here and to focus down buildings more efficiently here, but is taking some decent fights even before Cavalier here, and has this nasty or great, depending on whose player you're talking, whose player point of view you're talking from, to pull back to here. Very hesitant to engage here before Cavalier kicks in. Also missing plate barding armor, and for that matter, Last Furnace, but numbers-wise, Eldeniro has this in his pocket right now, in 39, 41 to 19. GG is called, and unsurprisingly so, with Cavalier kicking in for Eldeniro and Fontanita Animal with fewer numbers, and still a way to go for the the upgrades. There's lots of eco in the bank here for Fontanita and Waldo, so with a few more production buildings, he might not be able to contest the Hunt's numbers, but he could pump out a bunch of heavy camels maybe, and still contest this army composition here, with there being so few pikes total. But the eco situation as well, Eldeniro really out-ecoing his opponent here and taking some great map control, even stonewalling the sides to prevent raids. So that's a 1-0 for Eldeniro. Let me just try and figure out how I can get that achievement screen up in Capture H here. Here we go, perfect. So we have achievements in Capture H now. And we get the score development first here, seeing some army increases here from Eldeniro and see. And this is where he started building the stables, multiple stables. I think I'm just doubling up on the process here. Let's have a look at military. I don't quite understand these stats, but let's just toggle through them. Resources collected. Yeah, Eldeniro with a stronger boom overall, as we've seen, and then the up times slightly ahead here as well. Eldeniro in his to his advantage, he had much less idle time in the actual Dark Age, so he beat his opponent to Feudal Age with more population to back it. That gives you a very strong eco advantage. But Fontanita Animal had a good Scouts Rush as well with his extended Feudal Age, so not to discourage his performance there. Alright, I'm gonna pull up the second game here now, any moment. I will be going to Fontanita Animals home map, and he's gone for Dust for this one. Nice. Alright, here we are with Dust, a a map that, as you can see, could sometimes cause a bit a bit a bit unfair map generations. The idea is, of course, it's going to be an open Arabia-like map, but looking at the woodlands here, Fontanita Animal has basically gotten Khmer's dream scenario here. Granted, his gold spots aren't ideal, there are two to the side here, and then a semi-forward main gold, but close to the TT. But there's definitely potential for full wall from the Khmer here. And looking at Eldeniro's map, his woodlands are rubbish compared to the opponents. He has one forward woodland here, one forward woodland here, and one just all the way back in the corner where no one has gone before. He'll probably never even scout that. But that said, Eldeniro is with Franks, very solid open map save. There are berries here as well, so he's going to be able to make use of the Franks 15% faster foraging of berries here. And yeah, with some clever small walling, you could still try and secure his woodlines here. Fontanita with a Kvur, though, can potentially go very aggressive with the openings here. If he wants to go scouts, for example, he doesn't need a barracks first. He could drop the stables right away. Maybe stable blacksmith, or just then collect some gold for an early bloodlines to match the rank scouts here. Because you don't strictly need that. Okay, that was a massive lag. I don't strictly need that barracks to unlock any other buildings if you're a Chimera. It goes for going up through the ages as well. You could kick up at any given time if you have the resources for it. You don't need those two prerequisite buildings. Berries almost kissing the CC here, right close. Some nice back woodlands as well. Two chunky ones and one over here. This is a map worthy of a for a restart for Eldeniro if he didn't already call it earlier on. I wouldn't know. But he is going to do his best here. He will definitely have to be the aggressor for this one and stop the Khmer from from playing into their strengths here. Looking a little bit at the scouting here. Just missed the hunt over here. That's absolutely pushable if you like that sort of thing. Elephant just within line of sight for Eldeniro, so he's found his core resources. All right. Fontanita animal could consider pushing in some deer as well, or even milling them in the back here. Yeah, we'll see where it goes. Both players with 3 on wood again, so they sure like their scouts openings here. Eldeniro takes a solid hit to his starting scout now, at the cost of some idle TC time for, or idle eco time for Fontanita animal, of course. Another advantage of being Khmer is that you can garrison inside houses, so if you get raided, you could just hop into the houses as needed. 4 on berries. 6 on berries, Eldeniro compensating a bit here, or making use of the Frank's bonus to secure that smooth feudal age. I think he has 21 pop scouts in mind here. No loom just yet for Eldeniro. He again has slightly less idle time than his opponent here. And Fontanita is now back to scout the enemy's whereabouts. He's seen the hunt, so he knows that the opponent might be close to. Ooh! Ooh! Eldeniro. I'm not sure if you can see that or not, but I think he can garrison here and take out the scout. Ah, it's just outside the range. Nice. Cheeky play of Fontanita animal there. So both to the feudal age, Fontanita animal with a 19 pop here. And I'm assuming in that case that it's going to be just straight stables here. No barracks could be very hurtful against ranks that already have the stronger scouts. And if you scout properly and you see that your player does not have a barracks, then you can really exploit that with forcing the Khmer to fight off your scouts with villagers and their own scouts because they don't have access to spearmen. Well, it's not going to be a no barracks after all. I'm worried about the barracks completion. Well, you don't need to complete the barracks, but I'm still worried about the wood count for Fontanita animal here to actually afford these stables once feudal age kicks in. This is going to be tight at the very least, and it's going to lose some precious seconds here in the transition into the scouts play. It's just a... Oh, okay, so it's not scouts here after all. It's going to be full-on spear defense here for Fontanita animal. And I don't hate it with the kind of map gen he's been receiving here. These walls are questionable in terms of securing the main gold here. If Eldeniro, he won't go Frank Scav Archers, but he could place a tower here and deny this gold, and suddenly Fontanita animal doesn't have access to any gold inside of his base. So that's... or even go Frank's archers into crossbows here to deal with that. Stable going up for Eldeniro as well. He's building it with only 1 villager. He's not in a hurry here, but I think he also knows that he doesn't know too much about Fontanita's base situation here actually. So he doesn't know about the fairly easy wallability of it, and that his scouts investment might not pay off at all here. Take some neutral goals here. To be honest, if you want to invest in the scouts here, I think that Eldeniro needs to be forward and try to deny the last bit of walls from going up here. We already have a couple of scouts, no spears yet for Fontanita animal, but if he can get the walls up, he doesn't really need to stress the spears either, other than to amplify his forward movement here towards the enemy base. One obvious weakness here, though, is that Eldeniro has the same amount. He actually has more scouts than Fontanita animal at this point, and the Prince scouts, they have 54 hit points. Oh, he just makes it in. So that's good timing from Good timing from Eldeniro there. He's going to get one builder of Fontanita Animal. Almost looked like she didn't have Loom there, but she does. 2 more knights running in, and Spearman probably now right around the corner for Fontanita. And we should definitely consider investing into a few now. But this... oh! Yellow! Fontanita Animal, what are you doing? Just passing. Welp. Yeah, I think we'll have a villager trade here. It's going to be first blood for Fontanita Animal as well. Focusing 1 villager on this very open exposed map. 2 villagers. Good value from the Khmer scouts here now. But Eldeniro, of course, returning the favor in Fontanita's base and exploiting the fact that there still aren't any spearmen out. Still an opening in the back there. But that's going to be plugged soon enough, I think. Yeah. Spearman for Eldeniro to weather off the storm there. Scouts taking that Palisade Foundation to make an opening for the rest of the units to enter. Good cleanup for Fontanita Animal on this side though, taking that one scout pounding away at the walls there, but Eldeniro, he finds himself an opening again. He's now with 5 Frank scouts, 3 spears. They are mainly defensive here to defend his core economy, but now 5 scouts roaming around the base again. Fontanita Animal, where are your spearmen? You built the barracks for a reason, man. Unless you forgot that you actually don't need to build the barracks for Khmer. Which happens to the best of it. Us, been there, done that. Scouts running again. The problem here is the Frank scouts should be stronger here, unless we have Bloodlines running. Well, Fontanita Animal has the number, so he cleans up here. Eldeniro is playing it fairly open here. I like that. It's not like he has an easy way of full closing his base. He could wall maybe towards the edge here to limit some raiding, but I mean, he's probably going to have to spend hundreds of wood here to full wall his base. It's really not an option. He needs to go for more local wall of and spear defense like he's doing. And at the very least, force Fontanita Animal into a complementary unit like archers or skirmishers here to deal with the spearmen. 5 spearmen protecting 4 lumberjacks and Janes here. And with limited success, because next level play of Fontanita Animal there is using 1 scout to bait away all the 5 spearmen, allowing the other 5 scouts to pound away at the lumber collectors here. Let's see for Fontanita's scouting though, if he has... Yeah, he has some good grasp of the map here, knows about the back gold. 1 point that's actually better for Eldeniro on this map, 2 back golds. Although still not easily secured by walling. Thinking about lose another villager here. The Eco KD is 4-4 for the time being. But with 3 spears chasing here, maybe it's fine after all. It's a significant spears investment though. I'm actually almost a little bit surprised to see Eldeniro likely to be the first one clicking up here. He has the 2 stables. And there's the Castle Leech. I think a siege push could be in order here, either with the mangonels from this side to push the town center, or with some scorpions on this side to take Fontanita Animal completely off gold and allow the knights to break in and raid further. 35 to 35 villagers here. Eldeniro, no wheelbarrow again. He doesn't like wheelbarrow apparently. He wants a smoother and quicker Castle Age without that eco efficiency for the already good Frank farms. Lots of weak villagers here, but Fontanita Animal doesn't quite succeed in sniping any of them here. So many spears though. Eldeniro, he could upgrade to pikes and go for a pike siege push on Kibera here. He is actually not with that much of a head start as I had thought to the next stage here. I think Fontanita Animal, I think they both have multiple DCs in mind here actually. And Fontanita, again, it's his trademark here. If this were Hidden Cup and I saw 3 stables in the 1300 max bracket, I'd think it was Fontanita Animal playing here, because he's been doing that every game he's been playing the cavalry style. 3 stables in cavalry investment for gas station. I've seen more players do that for Eldeniro actually with another one as well, to double up on the production and get some early map control. I think the downside of that though is that you're placing a stable that will not be, I mean, you get your initial production going. 3 stables here producing for Eldeniro as we can see, but to keep 3 stables producing consistently, you need at least 18 on gold, right? So one of these stables are going to be rendered useless for quite a while after the first trickle of knights going out here. But it certainly boosts your early cast stage production. It makes sense here for, especially for Fontanita Animal here, to have 3 stables in hope to match the practice production here. They're also extending economy, both of them with TCs here. So Eldeniro with 3 TCs, Fontanita could afford another one as well. Maybe on the, yeah, Woodland and Stones over there. Oh, overchop! Overchop! No, 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 not like this. Fontanita Animal. It's going to be looking at some serious Builder's depth here now. We have +1/+1 for the Knights. That's the same as the Khmer Knights here. So, but Eldeniro has the numbers still. He has 11 Knights. I actually love to see him bring the consider bringing the Spearman forward as well. And he goes back out and not. Yeah, it's a pity, but he would only risk running into TC fire there and be potentially trapped. So. Oh, but is he gonna run in here again? Oh, tell me he's running in once the TC goes up. Yeah, I'm not gonna lie, that's a beautiful play to see the TC almost about to be complete, so that once it's up, the walls aren't going to be full walls anymore, and you could just run in and do your thing. Forward siege workshop going up as well, as we can see here. And again, some great trades, and Eldeniro with the numbers here. Same upgrades, bloodlines and everything for Khmer, but simply being outmassed here. 0 on gold due to the offensive over here, and Eldeniro will be getting so much value. Look at the villager count: 26, 46, 28, 15 KD. So admittedly, the yellow player has gotten some good raids in on the other side as well, but this raid might very well just be the GG here, because it's so many villagers down for the Khmer. Even the 3,000ers investment will not be paying off here until long. Not having access to gold means no more knights production as well. There's still food and wood for spearmen here, but that's the best or the only option for Fontanita Animal right now. Ideally, he could have benefited from defensive monks or something here to convert some knights at the very least, but he's getting idle a lot here. Look at the idle eco timer. It's past 1 hour. We have, yeah, both have idle TC time behind this, but Eldeniro really in the commanding position now. 17 military to 2. So the scouts, wherever they were from Fontanita Animal, have been cleaned up. He's still kind of being blocked from the gold here, and Eldeniro now now is just trolling here. He's got a wall in the stone here, so that the Fontanita Animal doesn't have access to a stone for a defensive castle. But guess what? There's stone here. GG, well played. Good luck next. Fontanita Animal meets his better man here. And now let's look at the achievements again here. You can see the army flow is good for both players here. And yeah, fishing ships, trade users. Nice to see this more thorough stats. It doesn't apply here for 1v1s, of course, but that's going to be good to have for team games some other time. Let's have a look at the military score here. Units, army high, highest, yeah, most military. Total current, total produced, I guess. I'm new to these stats, so I'm just browsing through to see here. Let's have a look at the economy as well. Eldeniro with more resources collected. He did play the map as should be here because Eldeniro was had a very much really had a worse map. Much more open. Fontanita Animal had the potential for a full wall, and he did, but maybe played it a little bit too passively still. We'll see the up times as well. Fontanita beating Eldeniro to the fuel age, but he did add a barracks without really using it for a spearman, and that really hurt when Eldeniro found a way through the walls and got some raids in. Earlier cast age for the Franks as well, outmassing the Khmer player also going for the Knights. And then finally, let's yeah, society score. Villagers is a key factor. Eldeniro with a less obstructed economy at home wins with the villagers situation as well with 59 to 38. So GG, well played.